How's everyone doing? All right, I'm just going to wait for some people to tune in before I jump into it. And if this is your first time tuning in, definitely like us on Facebook and Instagram, subscribe to my channel on YouTube, and follow us on Instagram and Facebook so that you'll get notified once I come on live or I post any updates or any important immigration news. And then if this is your first time tuning in, definitely put in the comment box. Let us know it's your first time tuning in. And for the rest of you, as always, definitely comment and let me know where you are logging in from. I am in sunny Florida, Orlando, Florida area. Okay, says, good morning. You look great, Aisha. Thank you so much. And I see you all on Instagram and YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. So let me introduce myself. My name is Aisha Chidole. I am an immigration attorney. I represent clients with their family immigration matter. Doesn't matter what state you're in. I take clients in all 50 states in the United States or internationally if you have somebody that's petitioning for you here in the United States. For those of you who don't know my number, it's 407-995-6567. It's also scrolling through on the ticker on Facebook and YouTube. And if you're on Instagram, it is scrolling through on, you can find it on my profile. Oh, Monday Brown says this is his first time from Indianapolis. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. All right, you guys are jumping right into the questions. So if this is your first time, when I come on lives, I try to answer as many of your questions as I can. So definitely put them in the comment box. Don't be shy. I'm just going to quickly talk about my topic and just get into the questions today. So today I want to talk about a concurrent filing. And what I mean by concurrent filing is when you have two applications pending. Specifically, in this case, I am talking about filing an I-751 and an N-400. I'm going to break down for you because I know some of you are like, what is that? So an I-751 is a conditional removal. A conditional removal is when you have a 2-year conditional green card. And so if you have a 2-year conditional green card, at the 2-year expiration, you need to submit an I-751 application to remove the conditions on your green card that you got, okay? The second thing is, what is an N-400 form? An N-400 form is an application that you submit for citizenship, meaning that you're already a green card holder and that you are applying to become a U.S. citizen. So I want to talk about when you're permitted to file them together. Thanks, Vice, for tuning in from New Hampshire. Hello, hi everyone. I'm gonna acknowledge all of you very soon, so you can put your stuff in the comments. So typically, when you're trying to become a U.S. citizen, you either fall into one of two categories: the 3-year category or the 5-year category. Certain individuals, like people who are currently married and have been married for 3 years and have their green card for 3 years. And remember, when I say green card here, it could be conditional green card or your permanent green card, because you're still, because even though your green card has conditions on it, you're still a green card holder. So if you've been married for 3 years and you're still married for 3 years and living in marital harmony, you can petition to remove the conditions on your green card. You can file for naturalization. Apologies. You can file for naturalization because you're eligible for naturalization. And in case you guys are wondering why I'm looking up and down, because I'm on live on YouTube and Facebook on my computer. On my phone, I'm live on Instagram. I wish there was a way that I could just merge everything together, but I can't. So that's why I'm doing that. So the other way to file for naturalization is at the 5-year mark. So if you're not living in marital harmony with your spouse, or you got your green card from another category, normally you wait 5 years as a green card holder to file for citizenship. Now, when you have a conditional green card, the assumption is that you're still married because the requirements to remove the conditions on your green card is marriage, right? So that you're still married and we still have a legitimate marriage and we want to remove the condition. So if you and your spouse are filing an I-751, you can also submit an N-400 application if at the time you're removing the conditions, you have had that green card for at least 2 years and 9 months, because you can file for citizenship up to 90 days before your 3-year anniversary. So let's talk about other categories. And then if you are filing for removal of conditions and you and your spouse are not getting along, things are not going well, you can file for removal of conditions based on your spouse being extremely cruel to you or abusive to you. And you can also simultaneously, concurrently, meaning at the same time, file for naturalization. Now, there's always going to be a caveat. I always say to people, before you jump the gun and file for naturalization when you have a conditional green card, you better make sure that your marriage is legitimate. Meaning you guys have all the books, everything basically to show the legitimacy of this marriage. Because if you don't have those things, you are going to put yourself in a position where you may be denied. So don't file for naturalization concurrently unless you have all your stuff together. Okay. But the benefit of doing a concurrent filing is that it will force USCIS to process your case quicker. So normally a conditional removal can take anywhere from 18 months to 24 months right now, which is basically like 2 years, which is why they will typically give you an 18-month extension, because they know how long it takes for them to make a decision. And the typical timeline for a naturalization application is a year. So when you do a concurrent filing or you file your I-751, you've not heard anything for however many, and then you then file an N-400, what will happen is that they will then send you a request for your N-400 interview. So what will happen at that interview? I have so many alarms going off, guys. So it's so distracting. Just give me 1 second. So what will happen is when they schedule you for your N-400 interview, you will end up being interviewed for both your conditional green card and your naturalization. So not only are you preparing for your civics exam and your naturalization and your written test and your spoken test and your moral character, you also have to be prepared to answer questions about your conditional removal. And then they will make a dual approval. So they will first interview you for your conditional removal, and then they will move on to your naturalization, and then they will make that decision where they will approve your conditional green card and then approve your naturalization. Obviously, if they don't approve your conditional green card, they will not be approving your naturalization. So that is when basically you can file it. If you if you and your spouse, you're solid, you're good, or whatever it is, by all means, show up there at that interview, file your N-400 and do it together to speed up your process. But if you're in an extreme cruelty situation, only do it if you know for a fact that you have all your ducks in a row, basically. So that's what it is. So let me answer some questions before I jump off. Starboy on YouTube says, "Hey Aisha, my vow was approved a month ago. I did not receive approval notice, but my work permit code has changed from C09 to C31. Also, I filed my I-360 together with my I-485 in November." Starboy, this is actually awesome. So it means that when you receive a C31, and I actually posted a video, not a video, like a post with a picture of a C31 yesterday. So congratulations, you definitely have been approved for VAWA. But the way VAWA works is that they actually send you your approval work permit before they actually send you the letter of approval. And believe it or not, sometimes it could take up to 6 months before you get that letter of approval. So, but rest assured that a C-31 is giving only on an approved VAWA petition. So your approval is on its way. And once you get your VAWA approval, they will either schedule you for your adjustment of status interview. Sometimes they may bypass it. Obviously, I don't know your situation. I don't know USCIS reasoning process, why it bypasses some people, or some people have to attend the interview, but it's coming. So that's good though. So congrats. Let's see. Zahib says, hello, ma'am. After biometrics, how long does it take to get an EAD? The answer is that it really depends. It depends on what you're petitioning for or whatnot. But what I always say is it's the timeline for most cases right now is anywhere from 6 months to 8 months. If you do go online to check USCIS processing time, it will tell you 8 months to 9 months. However, I will say that, we do have clients who, most of our clients receive their work permit around that 6 month time, 5.5 months to 6 month time. Obviously, there are always people that are going to get it earlier or people that are going to get it later. I have a client that just got their work permit today that we filed for them 2 months ago. I really don't know, again, why they do that, but it might depend on the officer processing your case. But, generally you can do like a service inquiry or status inquiry until, you've at least had, it's at least past the processing time. So, just try to be patient and hopefully it's coming. Your biometrics means that it's coming at least in 2 months, hopefully you get it then. Okay. So Excellent Gold says, I have 10-year green card. I'm divorced. And how can I file for my son that they are 11 and 7? Okay, excellent. So since you're a green card holder, the answer to that question is dependent on where your children are. Okay, you said your sons are here in the U.S. Okay, because your sons are here in the U.S., you unfortunately will not qualify to adjust their status in the U.S. if they have overstayed their time here. Meaning if if the stamp on the I-94 has passed, normally when you get an I-94, they give you 6 months to be in the country. If that time has passed, because you're a green card holder, you will not be able to adjust their status here. What will happen is, I'll tell you what will happen in a second. Just let me drink some water. So what will happen, give or take, is this. You can either, I don't know how long it's going to take for you to become a citizen. You can either become a citizen or you can put in their I-130. And when their I-130 is approved, you can put in their consular processing. The good thing is that your children are 11 and 7. So what that means is that they don't accrue unlawful presence because they are minors. Unlawful presence typically means when you've overstayed your time and now you have to request a hardship waiver before they allow you. And once that hardship waiver is approved, then you have to go back to your home country and finish the process. But because your children are minors, so they don't control, what the decisions their parents make. So they've not accrued unlawful presence. So they will be able to go back and finish the process. Now, and obviously you're a mom, I'm a mom myself. I probably won't want my kids away from me. If that is the case in your situation, just file for naturalization. Once you naturalize, then you can file for them. Okay. Let me take some Instagram questions. Real Zim says, if I didn't use my prima facie to collect the benefits, is it going to affect my VAWA approval? Absolutely not. So for those of you who don't understand what she's asking, typically if you file a VAWA petition, you are usually, if you meet the bare minimum standards, you're usually given a prima facie determination letter, which basically says that you're entitled to public benefits, entitled to financial aid if you want to go back to school, and in some states it will allow you to get a driver's license. But you being entitled to it is not a requirement that you have to use it. So all it's saying, it's there for you should you need it. So whether or not you use it, it doesn't affect your petition in any way. Okay. B Junior says, in that case, do you need to be there? Be I don't understand your question. Can you just retype it? Because I'm not even sure what you're referencing. And that's B Junior on Instagram. Someone said, how long do I have to wait before I get scheduled for an interview or medical exam? I believe I answered your question above. You just have to wait. It could take 6 months, 7 months. You just have to wait. Okay. And when they schedule you for an interview, then you do your medical and take it with you. Or sometimes if they're not going to be interviewing you, they will send you a letter. Well, it's called an RFE, but the RFE is just saying, send us your medical. If you get that letter, then you're not getting an interview. It just means once they have your medical and everything checks out, you get your green card. Okay. If one didn't file for an EAD while filing VAWA, how can they file for their EAD? Call me. I'll walk you through the process. My number is 407-995-6567. Let's see. Do I have any other questions before I jump off? Okay, I see a question inside this question thing. Okay, guys, that's it. I don't know. I see Real Zim, you wanted to do a video or something, but I think I already answered the question. Okay. Do you guys have any other questions for me before I jump off? Nope. Okay, guys. Well, it was fun tuning into live today. I will tune in again tomorrow, sometime between 8:30 to 9:30. So that's why you need to put your notifications so that when I come on live, you can be there. Okay, now you guys have questions for me. All right, I'll take 2 more questions and then I will jump off. This person says, my spouse drove me out of the house while living together in Georgia after I filed the I-485. I got my biometrics appointment notice and she withheld it for a month and made me miss my appointment. I'm sorry that she made you miss your appointment. You need to contact USCIS and let them know that you didn't receive the notice and that you need to reschedule your biometrics. And then hopefully they will reschedule you and then you can go for your biometrics. Tenta on Instagram says, how long, after you get your 10-year green card, how long does it take for you to get your citizenship? So after you get your 10-year green card, I don't know if you're just tuning in, Tenta, but I just talked about this live just right now, like about 15 minutes ago. There are 2 ways. If you're still married, you can file for citizenship at the 3-year mark. And if you're no longer married, then you have to wait 5 years. But when I get off, I'm going to save this and then just go listen to the beginning so that you can see how I broke it down. So somebody says, Ty says, I now live in Texas. Can I reschedule it and change the address and do my biometrics in Texas? Well, you're going to need to change your address. Whenever you move, you must change your address immediately with USCIS, because if you don't change your address, that you can there's a risk that they will schedule you in your new state for an interview and a biometrics and that you might miss it. So that is the first thing you need to do. So change your address. If you try to get somebody on the phone, you can see if they can do both of them for you, but you can go online and change your address online using the AR11 form to change your address. Nana says, I have a green card. Can I stay overseas for more than 6 months? I wouldn't recommend it. You don't want to risk abandoning your green card. And when you come into the United States, they tell you that you've abandoned your green card and they make you sign a form saying that you're no longer a green card holder. So try your best not to stay out for 6 months. A lot of people who stayed out for six to 1 year over, with their green card were facing that or detained at the airport due to COVID. Even with COVID, they still detained them and made some people sign that saying that they basically voluntarily abandoned their green card. And the other reason for doing that is that each time you do that, you prolong how long it's going to take for you to naturalize and become a citizen. And the incentive of becoming a citizen is so that once you become a citizen, you don't have to deal with that. You don't have to deal with the back and forth of how long can I stay out of the country, how long can I stay in. F Man says, what happens when you add some alias during filing and refuse to add it during biometrics? What do you mean alias? What did you add? Like, I don't understand your question. Okay. All right, guys. I hope you do have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow live. Come, if I haven't answered your question, ask me again tomorrow. Okay. All right. Bye, guys.